Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test of the 2021 Toyota Venza. We're going to head out on the highway, do 50 miles out, 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour to get a realistic highway fuel economy average for this car. Before we get started, let's hop out, take a quick look at it. This is the new mid-size-ish all-hybrid crossover from Toyota, featuring a 2.5 liter inline-4 paired up with an electric hybrid system. It is actually quite good so far in our initial impressions on general what this car is supposed to be, I suppose. So if you want to see more on the Venza, check the links in the description for our JBL sound system test as well as our full review. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA highway fuel economy test, which gives this Venza 37 miles per gallon, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. We know there are people who take their vehicles on long road trips and would like to know what they could realistically expect to get cruising at steady state speeds in their car. Hybrids in particular don't tend to do great at higher speed sort of tests. The EPA fuel economy test definitely favors them, so it's nice to be able to take them out on our test and see what sort of numbers are a little more realistic to the real world. So to do that, we're going to fill up here at the tank, go out, do 100 miles, come back, fill up at the same pump using the same fueling method, get ourselves a result. A few things to note: ambient temperature is 36 degrees today. Tire pressures have been set to their door placard 33 psi. We are going to set the climate control at 73 degrees auto, so you're going to hear a little bit of fan noise, and we should be good to go. 1.829 gallons going in. Should be a nice clean fill. Before we actually start the engine, we're going to reset our GPS. Also going to reset our fuel economy, reset our trip meter, and we should be good to go. Oh, one last thing. 3 drive modes in the Venza: Sport, Normal, and Eco. We will be doing this test in Eco. We're going to drive nice and easy over to the highway, about half a mile away, and pick up the test from there. The goal of this test is not to hypermile, but rather to drive effectively and as one might on a nice, easy highway trip. To do that, we're going to get up to speed at a reasonable pace, set the cruise control to a GPS-indicated 72 miles per hour. Let's see, we're going to turn radar cruise off. Looks like setting our vehicle to 73 miles per hour is giving us 72 on the GPS. We should be good to go. Initial highway observations: a little bit more wind noise than I would have liked. It's a little bit windy today, so we'll see how it is coming back, see if it's equally as loud. So it's just a little bit more noise in general than I would have expected from this vehicle. Other than that, seats are really nice and comfortable. We'll see how that lasts after an hour and a half. We're going to test this 9-speaker JBL audio system out and catch up with you at the end of the test. In the meantime, feel free to enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the Venza. I'm impressed, especially because of the last few hybrids, the Accord Hybrid Touring and the Lexus RX, both did not do very well on their highway fuel economy tests. The Venza is coming in for a little bit of highway hybrid redemption at 36.4 according to its trip computer. Now, unfortunately, we are a tad below 70 mile per hour average. I'm kind of surprised because we were at 68 miles per hour average when we turned around at 50 miles, and it's been a fairly clean run, so I'm surprised that we didn't get up to 70. But either way, been a pretty smooth test. Road noise is actually better than when I was going out. I think it was just the amount of wind coming from that direction and getting up on the highway, maybe a little bit louder area. It's not the quietest car, but it's also not as loud as I thought. There are certain sections where it is quite damped. Seat comfort is still very good. Four-way lumbar adjustment helps, and all the materials just feel really nice in here. This is like border luxury car equipment. Toyota does a really good job at making the stuff you touch regularly, the center console, the shifter, the blinkers, door handle, all that feel really good. So what if there's some hard plastics down here in the door pocket? You don't really use those very often. JBL audio system is also quite good. If you want to see more on that, check out the link in our description. I'm going to take it nice and easy back here to the gas station, fill up, and get ourselves the result. And there we are, 102.2 miles as expected, 36.7 on the readout, and 101.2 according to the vehicle miles. All right, let's fill it up. 2.978 gallons. 102.2 divided by 2.978 gives us 34.3 miles per gallon according to our calculations. So that's a little bit lower than what the vehicle is reading out. I was kind of hoping we'd do a little better than that. But still a pretty good number considering the size of vehicle and it's cold out. So I'd be inclined to round this number up. So we're going to say 35 miles per gallon for the Venza. The gas tank is 14.5 gallons, so 35 times 14.5 gives us an effective highway cruising range of about 500 miles, 507 according to this calculation. Hope you all found that informative. If you want to see more on the Venza, check the links in the description for our test on the JBL audio system, as well as our full review, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.